Shout out to Easy Breezy McKeezy, my whole OSG crew. You know I love y'all, my first family. I know what it is. It's your boy Uncle Lays. I'm gonna turn it over to the boss of all bosses, the visionary extraordinaire himself, Easy Breezy, Dennis McKeezy. That's the man right there.
Good looking, Lays. Good looking, Lays. You know, it's only right though. It's only right that we shout out the lioness herself, the queen lioness, who's busting down that chicken, busting it down. We love you for that. We see you. You just do how you do.
It's the safe space. You know this is the safe space. And the first person, of course, to call me out was April. I wasn't even paying attention to the chat.
I saw April. What's going on, April? What's going on, family? What's going on?
Hey, all good, all good. Nothing but love, Simone. You was making it look so good. I was hoping you had enough for everybody.
Wow. Listen, you know, while we are saluting Simone, man, I think it's only fitting that we give her roses now, give her flowers now, because what she did last Friday on the Lions Den with Uncle Lays was completely incredible. Hey, Smitty, if you do me a favor, can you please put the link in the chat? For those of you who did not see the first episode of the Lions Den, you missed something amazing. So again, shout out to Simone for a fantastic job. Even down to the last minute, Simone was still out there promoting herself as well. Every platform that you can imagine, Simone was posting her own flyers as well. So we know, Simone, you so much deserve the credit and full accolades that what you went through last week. Because I don't think people understand the behind the scenes stuff that takes place when you're doing basically a live show, right? And I just feel like it was so incredible. I got a chance to be behind the scenes with you and to see it. I think it was even more impressive than what the world got to see. So congratulations to you, Simone. Again, here's your opportunity, because I know a lot of people from here came on to support you last week. In addition to your family and your friends who aren't on OSG at the moment, but I just want you to just take an opportunity to just, tell people how grateful you are and appreciative you are that people came out last week to support.
Well, good afternoon, family. Thank you again for taking your time, spending your time, whether you are up or tired or stressed or whatever it is, you still took the time to bless us with your presence here today off school grounds. So I hope I don't have chicken in between my teeth, because I am at that age where sometimes it gets stuck in little crevices and spaces. So forgive me if that's what we're looking at right now. But the background, as Dennis was saying, was that we find ourselves in acts of service and servitude and servant leaders and serve, that we really neglect our opportunities to be selfish. And I still, am in a place where I refuse to be selfish. And so part of what Dennis thought he was slick about doing was making me, or rather bullying me, like I like to say, to be a co-host for Thursday afternoons. And so from that, the Lions Den was born. And I have to stop saying, oh, it's just, just see the YouTube link. I'm sorry. I have to introduce it as my television show as it is seen on a network. So I am the host of myself, as well as my partner, Unc, my booski things, my boo, Uncle Lays Elliott.
Absolute pleasure, Queen. Absolute pleasure, Queen. You were a professional. It was like it's like you've been doing this all your life. So I don't even know what this is, man, but I'm mad we taking a week off. That's all I got to tell you.
Yes. So the thing is, it's I also didn't realize how much really goes into an episode. And look at my fabulous my surprise guest that was able to join me on the Lions Den last week, Friday. So of course, I'm going to tip my hat do a nice curtsy and give, the whole sister girl love to my boo, even though I am not a Mount Vernon resident. I will always shout out my best friend in my head that me and Dr. Action fight over. That is the one, Mayor
You know she my best friend. You know she my best friend.
Listen,
Don't
that's
remind me of that.
No, we ain't gonna fight. We ain't gonna do that today, y'all. We not gonna do that today. Mayor Patterson is in that. Mayor Patterson. Well, listen, we all love her, but we know that today was one of those days. I think it's we got to give her props, but we also got to give her the opportunity to just sit back and relax today on off school grounds. Because oftentimes, as she says, she don't always come on to say something. A lot of times, she just comes because of the energy. And we got to be very
well.
very
I had that. I said the same thing, but y'all make me co-host and all kind of business. So Mayor Sean, we just happened to come in because Dennis was.
That's your job forever now. You done. That's your job, sis.
So, Dennis was talking about our episode last week on the Lion's Den. And, everything that kind of went into it and how it was born and the energy that the three of us had. So, Dennis was just saying congratulations and give me my flowers while I'm still alive. And I was just mentioning how, as, servants, we are always depleting ourselves, but then we don't get the opportunity to really make our own, to do for ourselves, to act so much, which is not so much, that's not a word, in so as much to be selfish, because we're not built like that. We're not built like that as people of color. We are kind of in a mindset and a condition to which we are always doing for other people. But that self-care and that self-love is very important, but it is okay if we continue to do it on a consistent basis, as long as there's some level of balance. And of course, as long as it doesn't turn into arrogance. So just saying thank you to everybody. We will have additional episodes of The Lion's Den. While we would love to do it every week, I would rather ensure that we have quality over quantity. And my boss, Smitty, I know he's here. We talk about surprise guests so that we would yield to that being the cliffhanger to have people come back. But we do have an awesome lineup because the hashtag is Black women, Black culture, Black allies, Black thing. Not everything, but thing. So anything that is going to promote and celebrate and highlight and be about everything that is under the umbrella of Black women, to which is our families, our culture, our friends, everything. That's what the Lion's Den is about. So thank you, Dennis.
Congratulations again, Simone. We're really, really proud of you, and we look forward to the next episode, which would most likely be in another week or so. Just thought you should know. Just thought you should know.
I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on and to share that space with you, to support your efforts. I really believe in everything that you are doing, who you are, how you're moving, how you're inspiring and uplifting, how this organization is building the capacity of leadership. Everyone's used to the educational leadership, but it's just time for us to lead on so many new platforms and to stretch ourselves. This is the season of stretch assignments. This is the season of wringing yourself out when you feel like you've been wrung out fully, to wring yourself out a little more. This is the season to step out of your comfort zone. I am an extemporaneous speaker. I've never, ever read a speech, but last night for over an hour, I had to stand and deliver like a 40-page State of the City address. And it was nerve-wracking. But the one thing I'm understanding is that what worked before won't always work when you step up onto the next level. And so even if it makes you nervous, and even if you don't come out in the way that you wanted to, there were people who said I delivered well. I felt, we always see the things that we can do better. And it's great to see what you can do better. But until you step into that place and try it, you won't even know that there are areas that you need to improve in. So you have to start somewhere. And so I guess this was meant for me to say this today, because all I can think of is the 10, 15 things I would have wanted to do better. And other people are saying, no, but you did well. So now that I'm telling you, you have to accept that perfect is not always going to be what you are on your first try, and that you can't be hard on yourself. I have to accept that same thing for myself.
So today I was driving and I actually Loon ran across my mind like heavy. And I'm telling you, not even 3 minutes after that, I not even tell him, about 3 minutes after I was really pondering and really thinking about him and the work he's doing, he FaceTimed me, man. And we had a long conversation about some stuff that he aspires to do. And one of the things that I think really really hit me the hardest with him is when he basically said, man, just coming on last week really kind of lit a fire under him and inspired him to want to do some other things. And so he wanted to come and spend some more time with us today and kind of ask our help and support of some stuff that he wants to get working on immediately, which is in alignment with what we're doing. So, I'm going to kind of yield to, I'm going to yield to the spirit, and I'm going to yield to my heart and say, you know what, we're going to do it the way it's supposed to be done. And so I invited Loon to come back. He wanted to holler at y'all, talk a little bit about his experience last week and just kind of talk about what he wants to do next. So welcome, my brother. What's going on, Loon?
Man, you switched up real quick, man. You had the shirt on and the tie
Know that,
earlier.
right?
You was looking real Wall Street, man. You back in the trenches now.
Yes,
huh?
sir. Yes, sir.
I know that's right. Hey, listen, once again, I kind of feel bad I missed the mayor speak, because she was a big part of that inspiration that took place last week. And just I want to thank all y'all once again, for taking the time out to allow me, to join this congregation of, advocacy. So what I was talking to Dennis was about, basically I'm building my own organization right now as we speak. And one of my key supporters is Coke Industries. And they've allowed me to utilize all their resources, to build this organization. And basically what I want to do is, I'm focusing on really the small victories. Because I think that, because of the severity of this election and everything that's invested in it, a lot of people are just so honed into that we're missing out on these other areas that need to be cultivated and nurtured, while that process is taking place. In that area is basically where all of y'all are experts. And that's school. That's education. So basically, I had this idea of trying to, enforce community schools. We talked about last week how, much the surrounding communities, play such a significant role in supporting all the efforts that go with, y'all jobs and y'all tasks, as far as trying to educate these children. And because of all of these different distractions that go on through social media and everything, I was also mentioning to Dennis, ways to incentivize certain, certain things in accordance with, these efforts to educate children. Like, how could we come together and start brainstorming and coming up with ideas that you see fit in a perfect world, meaning don't hold back no punches. Because I don't know if many of y'all familiar with, Coke Industries. It's Charles Koch and Dave Koch passed away. These are Koch brothers, and they're multi-billionaires. And they're very, very, intrigued by, me coming home and having such a, sincere and clear vision on how could I affect change in the communities that I'm familiar with. I'm not into politics. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. I really don't care for it, because that's not my fight. That's not what I'm versed in. That's not what I really understand. But what I do understand is people, and I do understand these children. You know what I'm saying? Because being in the music business, by default, we become their peers, from the youngest to the oldest. You know what I'm saying? We become their peers, and they view us as their peers. You know what I'm saying? They look up to us as their peers. You know what I'm saying? So I've been able to, embrace that understanding and the relationships that come from that. And I feel like that's why I would be the most effective, and incorporating other people who are relevant in that field to play, the same roles that, you know, I intend to play in trying to reshape or revamp, you know what I'm saying, the school system. So when you think of community-based schools, you know, I'm just asking generally around the room, like, what do you think are the components that make a community-based school or community school? I'm just trying to learn right now.
So you want me to chime in, Dennis?
Yeah, no doubt.
Right. How you doing, Loon? Pleasure, Dr. Small. Also a child of Harlem, a son of Harlem. So what's up? I'm
What's up,
a
man?
principal in East New York, Brooklyn, and we're a community school. And so the major idea behind community school is creating a space and place that becomes a hub of the community. So you're not just engaged in schooling, but you're engaged in everything that will support the child and support the whole family. So whether it is like Akbar has done around the making sure that there's a washer and dryer in the school, making sure that we can bring barbers into the school, making sure if you got a parent with some immigration issues, hook them up with an attorney. Anything that it is that children need and their families need, community schools are supposed to operate as a hub to provide wraparound services to that child and to that family. And so that's kind of the short of it. But it makes school kind of a central hub of everything to support children as well as their families.
Absolutely. I mean, that was the idea I had. I just wanted to be clear because, you know, sometimes you feel things, but experts tend to know more about what you're feeling. So my interpretation was exactly that, because growing up, even the candy man, Mr. Willie, you know what I'm saying, he had the penny candy store. Like, everything was all inclusive and everything was an extension of the school.
Right?
And
Give him a taste of what you sound like. You know what I want you to do right now. Can you guys please bear with me, because he needs to know that he needs something beyond what God has given him in his voice. So this is, you're speaking to a whole powerhouse of amazing educators and leaders. So go ahead.
I was born by the river in a little timber door. Just like the river, I've been running ever since. Oh, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. Mm.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Nice.
What's your name,
Very,
youngster?
very nice.
Beautiful.
What's your name?
yeah, what is your name?
Turner. Daywan Turner, but I go by the name of Des Turner.
Well, you live in
Des
CI?
Turner.
Say it again.
You live in CI?
Born and raised, but right now I live by Cropsey. I
How
just
old
moved
are
back
you?
over here.
How old are you?
I just turned 22 on Friday.
So I'm breaking all of the rules and re-enrolled him at 22 so he can get his high school diploma, because we're about making sure he gets it all.
Yep, that's right.
That's what's important. That's what's more important. I'm gonna tell you this, just from my experience, and you know, being in the music business for so many years, is that, you know, a lot of us who discover our talents, we abandon a plan B, which is education.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we take all the risks and play the lottery, hoping that we make it, you know what I'm saying, which is not guaranteed. And anybody that tell you in the music business there is no blueprint. Everyone that can tell you how they got on a different way. So there's really no way to say, you know, this is how you get on.
Right.
Everybody has a different story of how they made it. Whether they stood out in the rain and waited to meet a record executive, or whether they got discovered, like just now, how you know, son, is no blueprint. But the only thing there is a blueprint for is what everybody in this room right now is fighting for, to give you a plan B,
Right.
which is to fall back on your education if that don't work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know, young, ambitious, youth, we don't think that far. We don't think past the stoop. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We sitting on the stoop, and it's like we don't think past the stoop. You know what I'm saying? And once we make it off the stoop, that's a small victory. We feel like we made it.
Yeah.
But in all actuality, if that fails, what do we have to fall back on? And that's where it's our obligation and our job to make sure you have that. You know what I'm saying? Because singing may not work.
Yeah.
Inshallah it do for you, but if it don't, this is where I come in. I want to be at your graduation. You know what I'm saying? Your career take off.
Thank you.
That's I want to be at your graduation. So I'm gonna keep in touch with April. If you graduate, you know what I'm saying, and take this opportunity, because she said she breaking law for you.
Yeah.
That's serious.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's real
I
serious.
want to
Facts.
salute the brother Loon and add something to what he's saying, because there is a probability with talent that it may work, but the education will help you to make the best of a successful career. Because it's not
because
just
it's a business. It's called the
right?
music business.
It's
Not
a
just
business.
called music. It's called
And
the
also
business.
it'll teach you how to complete things. When you go to college, it's about completing. High school is a completion. You have to complete high school. So when you learn how to complete things, that will carry you even in the music business, because sometimes it's not the most talented that make it, it's the ones that work the hardest. So,
Right.
Just whatever you want to do in life, just make sure you complete and get that high school diploma. And that's the first step to completing the next task. And you are very talented, young man. So I wish you all the best. And whatever
Thank
we
you
can
so
do to help
much.
you, we will.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Wow. That's a valuable life lesson.